Shalom, shalom, Hebrews and Shebrews. Wait for a couple of y'all to get up in here. Give y'all a little announcement of this series I'm about to be dropping. If y'all can hear me, press 1. Because I got these Bluetooth headphones on. I ain't sure if you can really hear me. So, let me see. You probably can. Shalom, can you hear me, Yabatazar? Press 1 if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Cool. Shalom, shalom to the Hebrews and Shebrews, all praise to the Most High Elohim, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, in the name of his son, Jesus Christ, al-Mashiach, who some know as Yeshua HaMashiach or Yahweh Shai, all that good stuff, right? Yeah, so, I was just on a funny. I said I'm gonna go and put this out here real quick before I go to this late doctor's appointment. I don't know why they got me going so late, but yeah, man. So I was just talking to this Christian. He probably was an urban apologist, but what I can't stand is when somebody know they don't really want to be edified, but they ask you questions anyway, already ready to defend what you about to say. So the brother act like he was trying to be genuine, asking me, could I prove that Christmas was pagan? And of course, I told him, yeah, I could prove it without a problem, right? I had a feeling he was just trying to hold on and defend, keeping Christmas and idolatrous holidays, right? So I kind of framed it up before I dropped Jeremiah 29, because I knew he had heard it before. So I framed it up and let them know, like, look, we all know through the door that Christmas didn't exist at the time of Jeremiah, but that exact same tradition and practice dealing with Tammuz, Nimrod people now, been around for centuries, right? So it's the same spirit, and they just slap Jesus on there, right? Anybody you don't even got to have no deep spiritual eyes to know that, right? Or it wouldn't even be in the text. Like, what that would even have to do with us today, And the point that I always trip out on Jeremiah 29, and the thing about it is, if the brothers truly want to be edified, if you see this video, bro, you need to stop. Because if he truly wants to be edified, y'all, I had a bunch of spots I was going to go to. See, I don't just harp on Jeremiah 29. Because people think they got a defense for that now. And the defense is, well, that ain't the same. Because they want to hold on to that glazed ham and that Yule log in their house they call a Christmas tree. You know what I'm saying? I had a bunch of spots I was going to go to. But once he said, come on, man, stop playing. That ain't Christmas, didn't it? Exactly. If Christmas didn't exist then, why you still doing it? That's proving my point. That it didn't have nothing to do with Christ. But y'all just slap Christ on there. And it's the exact same spirit. It kills me that people like to quote the Bible, but they don't put in practice what it means. For example, you just got to throw, and I ain't reading no scripture, so that's why my head's staying covered for those who, got that understanding. Where do Ecclesiastes 1 and 9 come in at then? Ain't nothing new under the sun, right? So that stuff ain't new. You feel me? But yeah, I just had to say that people don't be genuine half the time. They just, you saw it, Latoya? Yeah, that's why I just left. Like, I ain't got nothing else to say to him no more now. You see what I'm saying? What up, Mikael? I'm good. So yeah, I ain't got nothing to say to him no more. But anyway, to get to our point, so yeah, man, y'all been asking me, my fellow Israelites and people that's waking up new to this truth, to really do a lesson on this witchcraft that we keep running into, this modern day witchcraft, right? And again, Ecclesiastes 1 and 9 ain't nothing new under the sun. Witches ain't went nowhere. If they did, God wouldn't have to talk about them. And that alone lets you know they exist. Get it out your head, the pointy hat, old white lady with the beat up nose riding on a broomstick. No, these is sisters and brothers. That's why my series is gonna be called Witches and Wizards. You know, modern day term they call them warlocks. But the Bible don't say that. It say wizards, right? Wizards and sorcery, right? So that's why I'm not leaving the brothers out too. But like I tell people, we have to be honest with ourselves. I know it's a lot of Israelites going around that people feel like they beating up on the sisters and stuff. And part of that is because, you know, a lot of times, you know, as far as the word is concerned, sisters been getting it off easy for a while. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Because most of our problems start with the man. I don't think nobody can deny that. You see what I'm saying? As the man go, the nation go. So that's one thing that we have to agree with, and I don't have a problem with that because that's just the way it goes, right? But to use that as an excuse to think you can do what you want to do is where the problem gonna come in at. Because God is not a respecter of genders. I don't know if y'all know that. He is an equal opportunity head buster. The lake of fire, like I always say, gonna have just as many sisters busting wide. The lake gonna be busting wide open with women and men. So all that little crying and stuff that work on fleshly men don't work on the Lord. You know what I mean? And so out of love, truly out of love, we got to be just as serious on our sisters because in the end of the day, like Elijah Muhammad used to say, and of course I don't adhere to his doctrine, you know, that Ishmaelite, that blackety black version of the Ishmaelite religion, but the man dropped some jewels. And like he said, the woman is the first teacher of the child. And that being said is because, you know, they going to be around the mother more than they going to be around the father in most cases. You see what I'm saying? So if you pick a woman, brothers, and that woman ain't stout in the word of God, if her zeal and passion is not as strong as yours, that means yours got to be strong first off. Then it's not a good choice to try to be making a family with her. Because if she only doing what she doing as far as the Most High is concerned is to impress you or to get love from you, then that is not a good thing. She has to sincerely be trying to get salvation and you know, serve the Most High herself. You know, women are not children. You can't hold their hand every minute, you know what I'm saying, like they children. You know, because if that's the case, so soon as you gone out her presence, she gonna pull a Eve, huh? She gonna go over there and get the fumbling with the tree, talking to the tree, you know? And so, since we being grown up with this, because, man, in these times, if y'all notice, man, it's getting real hectic in the world. And, of course, the Most High say, man, judgment starts at the house of God. That's Israel. That's us. And so that's why you're seeing a lot of crazy stuff going on with all the camps, you know, brothers and sisters going back and forth. And it's a lot of stuff going on that I choose not to speak on. I'm just watching. And it's for a reason, though, y'all. It's for a reason because the Most High telling us to tighten up, Joe. It's time for us to tighten up. And I'm going to be quite honest with you. I'm kind of glad, you know, I feel sorry and I pray for the families of those that's lost people. Due rather to the pandemic or to the shots. You know, you can't say the wrong word no more. They'll take your video down and all type of stuff. But the shot, right? I feel sorry for those people because it is a real thing. But with this happening, what I'm seeing is it's weeding cats out. It's weeding cats out, man. It's really showing people true colors. You know, I'm going to say this. A lot of people that's been about the Most High and about their word, it's been all lip service. And you see it now. You know what I'm saying? As my boy Yohanan ben Ishtar like to say, you know, God's shaking the tree. And all them dead leaves falling off, Joe. All them leaves that wasn't hinged on them branches tight are falling off. And so this brings me to my point. Y'all been asking me for about 3 months since I brought it up to start exposing these witches, right? And a lot of it came, y'all know, because of these sisterhood groups. You know what I'm saying? With these little band of rebellious sisters that's basically, you know, running around through Israel causing a ruckus. You know, we ain't got to say no names, but y'all know who they are, because the sisters tell me this. The sisters constantly send me screenshots and all that, right? And in these groups where it ain't no men at, they running rampant. And the sisters that's in there trying to stand on their square and represent the Most High is getting demeaned. They getting called soft. They getting called misled and all of that, just because they trying to follow the order the Most High set up on how a holy woman, a daughter of Sarah, should behave, right? In her marriage, in her family, in the congregation, and also when she in the world. These women are going against this, and that's because it's a spirit of witchcraft. Look, just because a woman is silly, as the book called it, them silly women, don't make her a witch. So let's make that clear. That's why I'm gonna do this series. So I figured, when I realized how deep this thing is, I'm not just gonna do one lesson and leave it at that. What I'm gonna do is, I'm calling it a series because although I'm not gonna do multiple lessons about it, that's not my plan at this point. I'm gonna do one main lesson on it, and from that lesson, I'm gonna do little spin-offs. So meaning, I may do a lesson about, let me see, what's one of the things we've been talking about lately? Probably about economics and order in the nation of Israel, and show how the Most High had King David set up the kingdom, right? When we was a kingdom, right? And at the end of each one of those lessons, I'm going to have a little witches and wizards tip. So it's going to be like the Marvel movies. You know how you go to the show to watch a Marvel movie, and you go with a straight novice that don't know nothing about how Marvel work? So they get up and start leaving after the movie over with, not knowing. The thing about Marvel is you got to wait till the credits is gone, because they going to give you that little minute to 2 minute snippet to know what movie's coming out next, or to let you know how it is going to connect to the next movie, right? So every time somebody leave before the credits over, I just be looking like, look at these goofies getting up. And then they get mad when you come out late and be like, dang, so Crossbones gonna be in the next. They be like, how you know that? Be like, nope, you should have stayed in there. So that's how I'm gonna do it. On the end of my lessons, I'm gonna throw little tips on there from witches and wizards, right? For example, on my last lesson I did about the number 3, I showed where that tradition that we get of burning our hair is actually something dangerous, and we done it innocently. But knowing it started out of superstition. You know, they used to tell you that the birds make a nest out your hair, or they used to say, you know, a witch would get it and put a hex on you. But even when I came in the truth, I got away from the spookism and the superstition. I still kept doing it because it was just a habit, you know. Plus, I ain't want my hair floating around, and you don't want to throw it in the toilet and clog up your pipes. So I would still burn my hair. And it was funny because a few weeks ago, this was recent, y'all. A few weeks ago, I was thinking about that, about burning my hair. And something told me to just look in the scriptures, right? So I'm reading Numbers, and then I seen where when the Nazarites took a vow, right? At the end of their vow, remember, or whatever transpired, where that vow was broken or whatever, they had to cut their locks off, because that was the end of the vow. During the vow, they could not cut their locks. And y'all know what they did? They put their hair up by the altar and burned their hair. That was a burnt offering to the Most High. So that hit me like, whoa. So if you just out here burning your hair, who is that offering going to? Because it ain't to the Most High. So that go to show sometimes ignorance is dangerous. Because we be doing stuff and don't know what we be doing. So my point is, when I'm exposing these witches and these warlocks, because I got something in there for the brothers too, not only am I going to show certain things that is basically disguised witchcraft, you know, like our people going crazy with the burning sage. You know, like when I put that question up, how many brothers do y'all know that play with tarot cards? I've never seen a man play with tarot cards in my life. If y'all from the Chi and y'all on the south side, y'all remember it's a tarot card place right there. It's this house that do palm reading. Right there on, I want to say it's 83rd and Morgan. It's either 83rd and Morgan or 87th and Morgan. If y'all from the south side, Auburn Gresham neighborhood, y'all know what I'm talking about. Because when you ride by, it got the big hand, and it's a sister. It got the big hand on the window with the eye Haru in the palm of the hand. That's the eye Horus, like the same eye that you see over the pyramid on your dollar bill, right? And I always trip like, Joe, this place still here. That's because there's people going in there. And think about it. Every time I've ever seen somebody playing with tarot cards, it's sisters. It's sisters. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen no brothers. I ain't saying it ain't happening or it don't happen. This is just a generalization. And that's because all of us sin, right? But it's certain sins that are gender geared. Like, think about it. We preach against murder all the time. Who doing the murdering 95% of the time? Is men. I mean, unfortunately, that's the truth. But you don't see us being hurt about it. We ain't saying, oh man, these brothers picking on us because they always telling us to stop killing each other, right? Hey, how you doing? Hey, little killer. You happy, huh?
You don't mind?
What's up? Nah, I don't mind. I'm an animal lover. Look at this. What up, buddy? What up? How you doing? Yeah, I'm over here just teaching a little Bible. Yeah, you take care, sweetheart.
You too.
All right. And yeah, you know, so like I was saying, you know, when we preach against stop murdering each other, thou shalt not kill, you don't see us come out talking about, oh, brothers, stop picking on the brothers. Why you don't talk about the sisters? No, it's just a fact. Men kill more than women. Yeah, there's some treacherous women out there that'll cut your throat or poison you or put something in your spaghetti or something like that, you know. But for the most part, men got that, the way our brains are even formed. I remember they did a study on it, and they was trying to figure out, excuse me, y'all. It's nice out here, too. It's almost 70 degrees, but it's kind of windy. You know, and they was doing a study, and they was trying to figure out, how is it that men have a larger brains than females? Now, before you sisters start jumping all off my post saying I'm a male chauvinist, no, you can go look it up. It's a scientific study. But the point was, men are not smarter than women. If look at what I'm saying. A man and woman can have the exact same intelligence level. A woman can even be more intelligent than a man. You see that a lot. Or vice versa. So they was trying to figure out, what is this larger part of the brain, this extra space that a man got in his brain that a woman don't have? I believe the last time I checked, and this was over a decade ago, your average woman got between 18 and 20 billion brain cells. This is what the modern day science say. I don't know how true that is, but I do know the size of the skulls are different. And your average man has 20 to 22 billion brain cells. So that's a difference of about 2 billion brain cells. And so they was trying to figure out, what could these extra brain cells be that a man get if it's not dealing with intelligence? Because they already proved it's not dealing with intelligence. And the first thing popped in my head was in my mind was the priesthood. Because, you know, as far as us being Israelites, you got to think every nation had their religions, you know, the Druids or whatever pagan stuff they was into, but the men were the priests. Yeah, you had priestess and all that type of stuff. But especially far as Israel go, my first thought was the priesthood, right? That's got something to do with that. But what they went on to show was that serial killers are 99% men. And they say they think that's part of the brain that women just don't have. Not saying a woman can't be a serial killer, because you always have an exception to the rule. But it's a reason 99% of serial killers, 99% of mass murderers are men. So if you got that part of your brain and it's not being exercised righteously, that's a spiritual part of your brain. So if it's not being utilized righteously, it can only be utilized wickedly. And so that's why you have, just look at the inventions that men and women come up with. Men come up with stuff like they want to go to another planet, or they build deep sea submarines to go down to the bottom of the sea. Women ain't thinking about nothing like that. That's a part of the brain that just men be into that type of stuff. You see what I'm saying? But men also create the atom bomb. You see what I'm saying? Something that could just kill a whole lot of people. You feel me? And so I say all that to say, it's time to stop playing. And I know as Israelites, we so to the letter. We so just keep the law, statutes, and commandments and don't worry about the spookism, which I'm with. I've always been like, man, that spooky stuff don't bother me. You feel what I'm saying? You keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, you ain't got to worry about that stuff. But that don't mean be naive of it, especially if we claiming to be under the priesthood, right? We should be more equipped for it than anybody. And we should be able to identify and teach others how to combat it. So what I'm going to do is, in the next couple of days, I also want to give a shout out to my brother Isaac, because on the Wake Up Show, the sisters is going to deal with witchcraft. And I think that's good, because they need to hear it coming from other sisters, just so they don't think that brothers is singling them out, right? And so I may take some jewels even from whatever they put out there. You see what I'm saying? But I got so much stuff piled up, I figure it ain't gonna make no sense for me to do no 5-hour lesson. I'm gonna do one lesson on it, and the rest of the things that I have compiled and the things that I'm going to the additions that come up, I'm just gonna add them to the end of all my next future lessons. You see what I'm saying? So whenever y'all watching one of my lessons, as boring as I can get, because I know I can talk you to sleep with this draggy blah 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 voice I get, always try to hang around to the end so you can see what jewel I'm gonna drop dealing with this witchcraft and this wizardry. So I was saying that one last thing to say, yeah, so after, so probably in the next couple of days, either today or tomorrow, I'm gonna go and kick it off. And I'm going to kick it off with, y'all gonna like this, but the dedication of one's house. I don't know how many of y'all know, but in the law, in the Torah, in Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter, I believe it's Deuteronomy 20:4. It talks about us dedicating our houses. So you probably want to know, well, why is that even in there? Why was that something that used to be done? And I'm gonna show you. We even gonna get into the whole frankincense and myrrh and the things that was burned at the altar. That was peace and blessings, Kawah. The things that was burned is the altar, which were a sweet smell, a sweet savior to the Most High. So you got to think about it. If the Most High love the smell of it, you should definitely like the smell of it. And you know who shouldn't like the smell of it? Them unclean spirits. So we going to get deep on this and stop playing. And it's time for us to gird our spiritual armor up. So I'm going to make sure, as long as I got breath in me, if the Most High lay this wisdom on me, that I can give y'all some tools. It ain't about being spooked out. It ain't about being scared. It's about being prepared, right? Because it's one thing to know scriptures and repeatedly spit them or recite them or even read them, but to be able to put them into use to make them practical when you need it during this time of spiritual wickedness, man. You see what I'm saying? And so you talk about the house dedication. I remember when I got my little crib over here, when I first moved out here, my little gingerbread house, I think it was Brother Elijah and Stevie or one of them. They'll tell you, I called them over like, man, I want to dedicate my house. You know what I'm saying? They look like, man, this Jake always trying to get deep. And they was like, all right, for sure. But I don't remember what happened with that. But I don't think we wound up dedicating no house. I think we just said a prayer and ate some lamb links. You know what I'm saying? That was sufficient. But since then, I've grown in my understanding. And I bring this up to say, these brothers said I could bring it up. Today I was tagged in a video by my brother Anthony. And it was two brothers on this post. I want y'all to go check my wall. Anthony and brother Ezekiel. Shalom to y'all if y'all watching. I told them I was going to bring this up. They said it was okay. And the brother Anthony had asked me, what was this, right? Y'all got to go check it out. And in this video, his camera, his security system recorded some little black, like a shadow, crawling up the side of his house, right? It was a little shadow crawling up the side of his house. And he was like, man, it ain't nowhere where no shadows could reflect. And it ain't no insect. And I synced it. I'm like, man, that is strange. And it was broad daylight. It was a little black image like it was crawling up his house, right? And so, the brother was asking me. And that's my point. We should have an answer for these things. Some things we just not going to know. So I just told the brother, I say, man, don't worry about it. It ain't bothering you. You see what I'm saying, bro? Just keep serving the Most High law, statutes, and commandments. It ain't going to, whatever it is, it ain't going to bother you. And so we're going to take all things into account on why the Lord even said that he put the unclean spirits, some people like to use the term fallen angels, under a cloak of darkness. And that's really a good thing because you can't see them all the time. And most can't. Some people, the Lord put that gift on them. But if you seen some of the stuff that was on the other side of this veil, you probably die of fright. It probably terrorized you. You know what I'm saying? So the Most High actually did that for our protection. But it's the sad thing about it is, though, just because you don't see them don't mean they ain't there. So what they doing now is they working through people. Them spirits is on people. Y'all feel what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, Kawhi? And I don't doubt that you have seen them. People love to be skeptical. Oh, man, you spooky. No, just because the Most High gave him that revelation, that ain't your thing. You feel me? That ain't your thing. This is part of the body of Christ. Everybody's gift is not the same. But in order for them to be balanced, you got to have spiritual people in the body that can deal with that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, man. And so when I seen that crawl up this brother's house, then the brother Ezekiel got on there. And I think I told him, I said, you know what? I said, okay, yeah, man, just pray. Keep the law, statutes, commandments, whatever it is. Don't worry about it. It ain't bothering you because, but what you can do, while folks around here burning sage, and I feel bad for post-sage because God created sage. I like to put it on my food, right? We used it for seasoning. I don't see, sage ain't did nothing wrong, but every Negro want to run and use some sage, talking about warding off evil spirits, and they don't know what they doing in ignorance. I told the brother, I said, man, get you some frankincense and myrrh, right? Because I keep frankincense and myrrh. I don't burn it a lot, but every now and then I'll burn it. I'll even burn it, the brothers will tell you, when I'm doing a lesson sometimes. And this is just things that come as your wisdom grow. It's not into being into ritualistic, spooky stuff. I just know that it's a science to the things that the Most High had us do for a reason. So you got to think about it. If frankincense and or myrrh was a sweet savior to the Most High, let me tell y'all something. The Most High ain't finna come chill in your house all day. He got other stuff to do. It's 7 billion people on this planet. I understand that he's omnipotent, omnipresent, so his presence is everywhere. But what you think he got angels for? If that's the case, ain't no need for angels. You see what I'm saying? So the Most High not just finna come chill in your house all day. So this lets me know if the Most High like the smell of frankincense and myrrh, that mean the angels like it. I'm talking about the righteous angels, and we gonna get into all that. So that lets me know, hey, I would rather hide them cats chilling around my crib than, you know what I'm saying, than Satan's guys, how Shaitan's little angels running around here, being that I can't see them most of the time, and I don't want to see them. You see what I'm saying? I don't even want to see the righteous angels. I had an incident that happened to me, some of y'all know, when I was locked up some years back. And I knew that's when the Most High told me, look, boy, you know you Israel. You know you supposed to be keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Ain't no excuse for you to be in here. You know what I'm saying? And I asked the Most High to show me something. I never asked him that again. So that's why I always stayed away from the quote-unquote spooky stuff. But it's time right now. You see what I'm saying? It's time right now. Because all these little witches running around here trying to pervert the daughters of Zion, I'm letting y'all know now, it's on and cracking. It's on and cracking, Joe. We got a whole army of soldiers over here, Joe, whose spiritual sword is sharp, Joe. You will be beheaded, right? And for you brothers that's running around here, man, with this cult leader mentality, around here deceiving. And the sad thing about it is, it's really double bad for the sisters, because not only do they got to worry about these sisters with miserable lives who they don't even want to read the scriptures no more. They disputing everything in the book because they don't like what it say. So now they got to find a new translation, or they want to add to what they think it mean, because they don't want to get in order. Not only do the righteous sisters got to worry about them trying to creep in their head and how them mess up their marriages and their relationship with the Most High, right? Not only do they got to worry about that, they got to worry about brothers. They got to worry about brothers deceiving sisters, abusing the book and the scriptures just to get their way with these sisters. You see what I'm saying? So it's nothing for me to dice up a brother that's out here you holding truth and unrighteousness, right? It's nothing for me to do that, right? Because I don't like people who prey on the weak anyway. I don't like people who prey on vulnerable people. Like, I'm that cat, as wicked as I was in my days when I was running the streets, to the point where the Most High had to literally sit me down and put this thorn in my side that I'm dealing with now. As wicked as I was, one thing I never was a bully. I never liked people who picked on people at school because they knew they had an easy win. I whooped the cat over there before. You know what I'm saying? Because he kept picking on this dude, man. And you know, it's a long story, man. But I literally, Joe, I had to put a 3-piece spicy on him, Joe. Like, real talk, in school. I ain't even care. I whooped him in front of the teacher, Joe. I'm talking about knelt him to his chair. You know how they hide them desks in school with the arm connected? You know what I'm saying? With the arm connected. So he couldn't even jump up. He couldn't jump up when he wanted to. And it wasn't no sucker punch because he saw it coming. I walked all the way from the front of the class. I said, touch him again. And he reached up in front of him and smacked my little friend. I'll never forget his name. His name was, he was a little Mexican dude. I think his name was it Angel Martinez? I can't think of what his name was, but he was picking on him because all the girls like little Angel, right? I'm just saying Angel because I don't remember his name. But all the girls liked him because he was an underwear model. Y'all, I can't make this up. This was in like 3rd grade. This was when I had left the city and went to live in the suburbs with my mama after her and my father split. So I think it was like 3rd grade or somewhere up in there, right? Because then I wound up coming back and going to the school in Chicago. And the girl, they was hating on this man because his parents had some money. We was living in Bensonville. You know, you can't be broke living in Bensonville. My mama was living in Bensonville. My mama had a really good job. You know, she was, I ain't gonna put her business out there, but because plus she be watching my videos. She on my Facebook friend. But she was making 6 figures. I'll put it like that. And so So they was hating on him because all the girls like him because he was a it wasn't Haynes, he was a Fruit of the Loom model. So he would bring his little newspaper, have underwear modeled in a newspaper. He'd bring it to school, his little skinny, but he in there showing off in his drawers, right? So the girls thought, woo, he a model. So this dude name was Matt. I'll never forget. He was a Gentile too with freckles. He was a little bully. You know what I'm saying? And I'm coming from the hood. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I ain't even going with that. No way. Like, you know what I'm saying? He kept picking on Matt. So, and I was cool with Matt family and stuff. I'd go over there to eat and stuff like that. So one day, man, he just kept messing with him, man. He smacked him in the back of his head. And I was like, man, I'm like, touch him again, man. And he smacked him again in the back of his head. I just kindly walked on back there. He looked at me like, what you gonna do, Nick? He was finna say the N-word. And before he could get it out, I poop, pop, peep. I'm talking about I gave him a 4-piece spicy with some coleslaw on the side. And the teacher was like, oh, no, Mr. Ward, you can't, Ward, you can't. And I'm like, man, look, I'm talking about Joe. He had instant knots. I'm talking about an instant red knot popped up with a bubble on it. So I say all that to say, I ain't never liked people who prey on the weak. You know what I'm saying? And we got people that's in this truth that's doing exactly that. So we're going to talk about the dedicating of the house, the frankincense and the myrrh, and all this other stuff. And we're going to talk about this little fake feminist movement that's going around, which ain't nothing but a bunch of little witches with Hebrew names. You know what I'm saying? Trying to reel these sisters in to mess their life up. Because they want company in the lake of fire. I seen sisters send me screenshots where they dropping scriptures on these sisters, and these sisters they straight out ain't trying to hit the scriptures. They letting you know they ain't trying to hit it. They either gonna say the scriptures is corrupted, or a man wrote that. Like, damn, did you Israel? You supposed to believe this like we do, right? So it's coming, y'all. Be ready for it. And that's one reason when you see Jeremiah 29, where it say, tell us to build houses when we go to captivity. He tell us to build houses and hire kids and plant vineyards and stuff, right? What we never think to do is apply Deuteronomy 20:4, and that's dedicate our house to the Lord. And what you doing by doing it, you know what I'm saying? You're basically saying, look, I want the Most High to know that ain't no evil going on in this house. And, that's one reason we need to hide those 10 commandments up over the doorpost. To let any unclean spirit know, Joe, me and my house gonna serve the Lord, like Joshua said. And so you gotta fight if you come up in this joint. And so, man, with my brother, man, that showed that video, and I see the brother Ezekiel say he went and straight got his frankincense and myrrh. You know what I'm saying? Like right after that, and he had it burning and stuff. And like we say, the power ain't in the frankincense and myrrh itself. The power is in the Most High. But why not hedge the bet, right? You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. And these type of things come with wisdom. And so with that, I say shalom, shalom. I'm gonna go back and read these comments. I'm about to get ready to go up in this restaurant over here, eat me a burger, and then head out to this doctor's appointment. I know, man. I was learning, Sakina. I was learning, sis. I was learning how to throw them combos, Joe. I don't like no bully. You see what I'm saying? Hey, for sure, Yakinan. For sure, man. I enjoyed that conversation on the phone, too. Righteous, for sure. Shalom, Ak Marcus. Let me see if I can slow through this. Khan, wolves and sheep clothing. Most definitely, Kawah Shalom. Shalom, Kawah Wam Wam. That's my Ak right there. Judea, Israel. Yeah, it was definitely a 4-piece spicy. Yeah. And when you really lean, when you lean into a punch, it was like the first 2, I just salt and peppered them up. But that third one, Joe, I know that's the one that gave him that Tyson knot. You know how Tyson used to hit cats and it instantly knotted up? Yeah, that third one, I had to lean into it, Joe. I'm talking about, I knocked some of the spirit up out that cat. New Breed said the same thing today. You say New Breed said the same thing today? Hey, man, that's because, man, you know, it's a spirit, man. That's the same spirit. You know what I'm saying? The Most High putting this spirit on a lot of brothers. You know, instead of wasting our time, these fruitless arguments with each other and all that, and the brothers and sisters having these gender wars and all that, man. It's time out for that, man. It's time out for that. I ain't gonna tolerate it, Joe, from male or female. Yeah, y'all know I love the ladies, Joe. You know, I'm gonna end with this. My elder, I shouldn't even say this, but my brothers always tease me that know about it. But I think I said this on one video before. But my elder, Ray Uben, some of y'all know who Ray Uben is. That's one of the ancients in Israel. You know, we used to live together or whatever for a while, right? And you know how it is. You know, I would get the emails and the inboxes and things of that nature. And of course, I respond to them when I can. And we would be kicking scriptures. So, you know, the brothers and sisters that hit me up. But I guess he noticed that it was a lot of sisters, you know, that used to hit me up about, you know, certain scriptures and stuff like that. If y'all know Ray Uben, he's funny. He could be silly when he wants to. So he was trying to imply something, right? And I'm like, nah, bro. That's just because I know how to talk to women, man. You know what I'm saying? My pops was a smooth cat. It don't got nothing to do with me trying to, you know, get on no mischief with him or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I know how to check y'all too. You know, y'all, boy, this ain't the one. Don't let it fool you. But I know how to talk to women, right? You know what I'm saying? They beautiful creatures, right? So I know how to talk to them, right? And so the brother gonna call me one day. He gonna stroll up on me, right? He was ear hustling while I was breaking down these scriptures with this sister, right? And so I got off the phone or whatever. He looked at me and was like, "We gonna call you Bogus Ben Israel." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What you talking about?" Right? This is where I get my folly names from. We got this thing, me and my Walls of Jericho brothers do, and you know, the brothers that I fellowship with and brotherhood with, ICOJ, even some of my brothers from the other camps, right? We got this thing I call folly names, right? Where everybody get a folly name, right? So we all got one. You know, like we call Cassius Tardy Ben Israel. Y'all know the brother Kazak, that young lion. Y'all love his lessons, right? Yeah, the brother is very wise. But if you waiting on him to meet you somewhere, come pick you up, just know that that's Tardy Ben Israel, right? Because he always late, right? And so Isaac got his nickname. So everybody got folly names, right? And all that started because Brother Ray Uben called me Bogus Ben Israel, right? Because he was like, why is always sisters calling me about the scriptures and stuff? So I say, what you mean by Bogus Ben Israel? What's that supposed to mean? He said, yeah, all right, we're going to start calling you Bogus Ben Israel, the apostle to the sisters. I said, the what? He said, the apostle to the sisters. I fell out. I said, oh, man, you better not play with me like that, Joe. And it leaked out somehow, man. And, man, I ain't never hit the end of that. So cats think that's funny, Joe. So since that was a joke, I'm the apostle to the sisters, I'm finna put that to work right now on the righteous tip, on a serious note. So, if you see this, Ray Uben, that's going to backfire. Now I'm going to use that to my advantage. So these sisters can gird up their armor, like Ephesians say, and be able to ward these witches off that's trying to destroy their life. So with that, I say I love y'all. Shalom, shalom.